Let's start over. I want to start over. I do. According to vidIQ, 71% of YouTube channels, the creators just quit. I mean, their channels go stagnant. They quit uploading videos. And I don't want that to happen to you. I want you to stick around. All right? Today's session's heavy. It's heavy. It's a topic I don't want to talk about, but it's unnecessary. We're looking at kind of a great creator resignation. You've seen the stats. 62% of you are feeling burned out right now, and for the full-timers, that number jumps even higher. And we're even going to talk about why that 71% quit rate exists. That myth of an algorithm monster and how to decouple your self-worth from the click-through rate. Really, it's true. In the chat, if you've ever felt burnt out, let me know in the comments. Drop a yep. Just put yep in the chat. That's all I want to see. We're not going to confess anything beyond that, but I want to look at that 71% statistic. Now, while YouTube doesn't release an official quit number, the math is hidden in plain sight. Out of 113 million channels, less than 1% ever hit 100,000 subscribers. It's true. Hello there. Come see me. Anyway. That means that the vast majority of people are shouting into the void, earning, on average, if they're lucky, maybe $18 a month per 1,000 views. If you're lucky enough to be monetized even, that's the challenge, getting monetized. We get burned out so easy. This just kills us, and why do they quit? It's not usually because they run out of ideas. I have hundreds and hundreds of ideas. It's because of that gap between the effort you put in and the reward you receive. Some of us feel like, oh, well, we're supposed to be there. You spend 20 hours editing a video and it gets 12 views. Your brain processes that as social rejection. Research shows that 58% of creators link their self-worth directly to content performance. When the views go down, your sense of value as a human being goes down. I have been there. This is a recipe for a breakdown. It really is. I've been there. I've done that. I've done a bunch of videos about burnout. And I know there are people that say, well, burnout isn't real. Well, burnout isn't just being tired. It's a psychological response to prolonged stress. And for creators, this stress comes from three specific pillars. First you have content fatigue. It's that pressure to post everywhere. I got to be on Instagram and TikTok and Reels and Shorts and long form and that is so stressful. This month there's people saying, well, you got to release a short so often so people will actually know you exist. And then there's those that say, well, you just do long form, And then there's that identity trap. We stop being who you are, the person, and you become who you are, the YouTuber. It's Roy the person becomes Roy the YouTuber. And then there's this whole, when you're in this cycle, this cycle where your brain never leaves work mode because your phone is your office. You watch those views and it clobbers you. You just feel like, man, I what can I do? So I want to ask you guys, how many times do you check the YouTube Studio app? I check the YouTube Studio app within 10 minutes of waking up. How many else are guilty of that? If you're guilty of checking YouTube Studio within 10 minutes of waking up every day, write guilty in the comments. Write guilty in the comments. And so I want us to have a creator therapy mind shift. I want you to stay in the 29% who don't quit. We need a mindset patch. We need the first session of creative therapy where you are not your click-through rate. You are a human being, you know? We need to move from an outcome-based mindset to a systems-based mindset where if your goal is to get views, remember you have zero control over that. If you don't hit it, you feel like a failure. Your goal is to publish the highest quality videos possible, and you do have 100% control. Success in this game is about staying in the game long enough to get lucky. And you can work on your odds of being successful. But you can't stay in the game if you're mentally exhausted. And we need to stop obsessing over performance, which 69% of creators admit to doing, and start obsessing over the process. Make changes to the things that are within your power. You need to create sustainable workflows. You need to come up with tech solutions. This is where, in my case, the tech meets the tech troublemaker. You know, how do you use systems to prevent burnout? Well, automation. You know, one of the biggest causes of fatigue is friction. You know, like I'll talk about it. If you can set up your studio desk so you can just sit down and start making a video, you take that friction away where you don't have to set everything up in order to start creating. That means less friction. If you have to set your lights up every time, if you have to get your audio gear set up every time, it's friction. You're not going to do that. You're not going to do the hassle it takes to get ready. And so you've got to take that friction away. And if it's your cell phone you use, great. Get you a mount like this. Get you a mount and just set it up and plug your phone in and start. You know, and if you got a ring light that's in front of you, great. Start with that. Don't go crazy on equipment. Just get out there and start making videos. Remember that the algorithm, it doesn't have your soul. It doesn't care if you're tired. You have to care. Now, speaking of caring people, let's go and see who's out there tonight. All right. Ta-da! Thank you, Matt, for letting me know I didn't have any audio. Yes, I had hit the mute on my mic, and it was still muted. Oh, yeah, we could hear In the Trading. How you doing? Yep. And he was saying, yep, back to if you ever felt burnout. Yeah. Stuart, hello. How are you tonight, sir? Welcome. Hope you are doing well. Thanks for being here. So, how do we keep from quitting? How do we, that if 71% are leaving, then hopefully that means 29% are staying. And the 29% who stay aren't necessarily the most talented. I mean, look at me. I'm not that talented. But they are the most resilient. April of this year, I will be 5 years of going live on YouTube. I have had a channel on YouTube since 2010, but I just uploaded videos when I felt like it, and I didn't even know people were watching. It turns out I could have been monetized a long time ago if I had just known people were watching, and I stuck with it. But I didn't. I wasn't focused on that at the time. And so, you know, who here is afraid to take a break? I know I am. I am going to be out of the country 3 weeks this year. And so I won't be doing live streams those 3 weeks. And so I'm like, oh, well, you know, what happens? Does the world run away? And no, the world doesn't. And if I can make it work, I will make some videos to be released at the same time that I normally would. I'll just do a video out there that's a recorded video instead of my live stream on my Tuesday nights. You know, most creators find that a 1 week break actually improves their content quality because, you come back with fresh eyes. You've taken a mental break. I like to take a walk, listen to a podcast that has nothing to do with content creation, or listen to a book that is about something totally different. And it helps. It helps me come up with new ideas because it gets your brain thinking in a totally different way, So we have to take these times where we think differently. We have to take these times where we give ourselves a mental break and get ourselves, all situated. And, you have to give your brain a break. That energy, you can't give that energy to other people if you are depleted. You cannot help others if you are depleted. You have to take care of yourself. You absolutely do. And taking those little breaks like that, those mental breaks are great. When I come back from my trips, I totally expect to be full of new life and new energy after I recover from these trips and the jet lag, with new energy and have brand new ideas, maybe even have some new content. I'm taking a drone with me on these. That's not really necessarily going to give me content I can use on my channel, but it's going to be new. I will have had new experiences. We learn from these new experiences, and when we learn, we can take those things and share with others, And I want to do more of these creative therapy sessions where we talk about mental health. And I'm not a licensed therapist. I'm going to tell you that now. I'm not, but I am a human being, and I have been through stuff, and I have experience points, as I like to say. And so, we can talk together about the challenges of content creation, and not necessarily live. Maybe we jump on a Zoom or something. Hey, I want to talk about what's going on with me. Because in a lot of cases, sometimes as content creators, we can just talk. We get the feeling, better. And once we realize that others are going through similar things, if you're watching this and you're on the verge of being part of that 71% that quits, take a break. It's okay to slow down. It's okay not to post this week or next week. Your value as a human being is not determined by that graph on YouTube. It's not. It's not determined by that graph on YouTube Studio. You are more than your metrics. And if this resonates with you, I want you to, if you're watching this after the live, comment below one thing that you're going to do this week to reclaim your time. What maybe it's deleting YouTube Studio. I know I can't even think of that, but it's taking a walk without your phone. Hit that subscribe button and join our community. And we're gonna work together to build a space where we want to build, a mindset where we set ourselves up for success and not for failure. And I really want everybody to just kind of think about how you can make your process better. How can you make the process better so it doesn't beat you down so bad? Let's see who else is out there. David W. Ryan, hello. John, how are you doing, sir? Welcome. John's been doing some banger stuff on his channel, man. Really, I've watched some of your DaVinci Resolve videos after the fact, and seeing the different things you're doing in editing. So it's kind of cool. I'm a Final Cut person, so I'm gonna stick with it. I'm gonna stick with it, y'all. Stick with it. Yeah. So, how are you guys doing tonight? Yeah. Yeah, that's right. John's birthday. He was trying to hit 900 subscribers by his birthday, and that's fantastic. Let's go see here. John, did you hit it? Did you get that? Yeah. Trying to celebrate 902 subscribers without looking too closely at the other stats. That's good, man. Those stats will make you insane. They will. They have made me insane. The other night, my brain was trying to come up with so many different content ideas, for my channel. I am struggling with this channel. I am fighting with this channel. I am going through kind of a process where what makes sense to make this channel sustainable for me. And I have thought about different directions. I've thought about different pivots to take with this channel. and I've done a lot of research. I've gone through my stats. I know what doesn't work for this channel, and I still do it. I know what works for this channel, and I'm not excited to do those things. And so, what happens when somebody tells you, well, if you're a tech troublemaker, shouldn't you be doing video about tech? Yeah, maybe I should. So, and I've done a video about this, passion versus performance. What do you do? And I hope that you are able to do what you're passionate about, that you found your niche, that you know what your channel should be about, and you're doing those things. So, yeah, this is going to be a quick one. I thank everybody that came out tonight, and I hope that you are working through things and you know what works for you, or you're getting closer to figuring out what works for you. If I can help, reach out. I'm Roy at TechTroublemaker.com, so feel free to reach out. And thanks. Have a great night. Thank you so much for coming by. And yeah, bye. YouTube's going to tell you to watch this video next. You should do exactly what YouTube tells you because it knows best for you.